I just know how to drive.
Yeah, she drives.
Most women drivers in Nigeria are not good drivers. I know what I'm doing. You're gonna love it. Listen, this is real food. It's not like back at home, the freaking hooves, the big old snails. It's ribs, steak.
Somebody tell me, why does Angela feel the need to have to be so brutal? No, that's not the word. To have to be so exposing of herself. No. Why does she have to be so honest? And when I say that, and this is what I like about Angela being so honest, because when somebody is really truly themselves and you put them in their comfort zone where they can really be themselves, that's when they really expose who they really are. The whole time we've witnessed Angela and Michael, we've only ever witnessed her going to Nigeria. So therefore you can imagine that some of the things that she would say when she's in Nigeria, she wouldn't say if she was in the States, because she knows that she wouldn't be able to get away with it. She knows that people would react to it and they'd have something to say, and therefore they'd have to hold her accountable. But the moment that she lands back in the United States with Michael for the very first time, all of a sudden, boom, bam, she's now saying things that she's never said throughout the whole 7 years of them being together. And phase number one, already insulting women from Nigeria. Was there any need for that? Was there any need for that? Because the reality is this. All she did was, well, no, not all she did. The reality is this: Michael just questioned how fast she was going. Somebody questioning how fast you're going when you're driving, how does that connect in any kind of format, in any kind of way, with women from Nigeria? And we know that she's had an issue with women from Nigeria throughout the whole time. Why? Because she had an issue with a woman from Nigeria potentially taking Michael away from her. Hence why she pretty much made this man not be able to do anything. She made this man a freaking home prisoner, a house arrest in his own country, because she feared that other women in Nigeria would try and Superman. But you know what's so funny about that? The times when she did catch him with the infidelity, it was actually with a woman from the States. So while she's out there pretty much insulting women from Nigeria, she's forgetting that Michael was literally talking to a woman from the States. So if anything, you should be worried with the fact that he's actually in America now with women that he actually talks to. But of course, Angela Deem, like I said before, because she's now in her comfort zone, she can be more honest with who she really is. And by that, I mean she can now say things that she feels that she can say because she's now on US soil. So therefore, she feels protected. And trust me when I tell you, there's a bigger picture behind this. And that's something that we'll get to later on, not in this video, but later on within the season. But with that being said, though, we fast forward to her then also insulting food. You know what's funny? There's a scene, and I didn't put it in this video, and I don't know why, but there's a scene where they're in the car, and for some reason, one of the first things that she feeds him is fried chicken. Is it because of his pigmentation you decided to feed him fried chicken, or is it because you knew that's what he liked? I'm just curious. I am just very curious. Why? Because someone like Angela Deem, who will stereotype people, categorize people, is the kind of person that will feed you something she thinks you're going to want to eat because of the stereotype around you. But you know, here's the thing. That was one scene, and that's the scene I think that was on the way to where they're going now. I'm not too sure. But now they're in a restaurant and she won't even let the man order his own food because she wants him to try real food. If you ask me personally, the way I'm going to translate this may be a bit oof, but to be honest with you, with the energy that Angela is giving us, I'm going to say that the reason why she decided to tell him that he couldn't order chicken fingers is because she wants him to try real food that a real white American would eat. That's just my humble opinion, because at the end of the day, so far she has insulted the women of his country. She has insulted the food that he eats from his own country, and then also presenting him to begin with just to warm him up with food of a stereotypical black person. But then to all of a sudden be like, boom, bam, now I'm going to flip the script even more. I've already been vocal about your people, already been vocal about your food, but now I'm going to make sure that the first thing you eat in this restaurant isn't going to be fried, isn't going to be something of your choice. But goddamn, I'm going to make sure I'm going to make you into a real American. So therefore she offers him shrimp and grits. Now here's the thing though, I'm not an American, I don't live in America, so obviously of course I really don't know who dominates, which race eats that type of dish the most, you know what I'm saying? But with Angela, she is somebody who's a control freak. And if you ask me personally, she's going to do, or was going to always attempt to do what she can to make Michael do and eat whatever she desired and never what he wanted, because she's all about taking charge of this man's life. But let's continue though. Of course, everything that I said is very subjective, and I don't mind that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinion so far. And also subscribe if you haven't. Come on now. You guys are very stingy with the subscriptions. But anyway, with that being said, let's continue and like the video too.
Back home is also real, okay?
Lying. Let me show you what you do. That's what
You don't know he's
That's what you just did to his wall. Don't tell me I want spit. That was rude.
So let's break down this scene itself in particular here. So Angela gets upset with the fact that Michael decides to try the food that she decided to give to him. Or was it the ribs? I'm not too sure. But either way, that she tried to give him food that obviously she had. He doesn't like it, so his initial reaction is, and don't get me wrong, that behavior is unacceptable. I've said it before, it is unhygienic. It is disrespectful. 1000%. And let's be real, let's just say that restaurant that they're at is one of those restaurants that isn't necessarily cleaned properly. God knows how many roaches and rats are around there. That's if it's one of those that's not maintained. But the fact that Angela Demon goes there, you know, trash only goes to trash, right? Hey, there was no need for that, man. There's no need to be insult people. I do apologize. Or do I? But point being is that I do agree with the fact that Michael, what he did was wrong. But did Angela have to get up? Did she have to make a scene? Did she have to be so dramatic about it? No. She could have literally said, hey, don't do that. Now, I know when she asked him, Michael did deny it. He said, no, I didn't spit. Because you see, for him, he translated spitting as actually spitting phlegm out of your mouth, the liquid that comes out, not spitting out something that's a piece of food. Which can be an easy mistake when it comes to translation of language. It can be. But either way, though, Angela still should have said, listen, I gave you something. You then spat it out your mouth, okay? Which therefore easily gives them the details of what she means. And then she just said, don't do that again, please. This is not something that we do here, or this is not something that is respectful to this public establishment, okay? You know what I mean? If anything, you know what I mean? Just speak to him like he's a freaking human being. Not have to get up and act all crazy. But like I said before, Angela Dean, because she's now in US soil with Michael for the very first time, she's now in America because she is an American and she is America. She now feels obliged to be able to say what she wants. If you don't see it, that's fine. But let's be real. There's a lot of times I say certain things early, and then all of a sudden, what happens? It ends up happening. You're like, damn, Madzie wasn't lying. But either way, though, let's continue.
Excuse me, Skylar. That was rude.
She just don't want to be proved wrong. So she is doing everything she can to make this relationship work, and she's scared of embarrassment.
I believe Scarlett really hit the nail on the head though when she spoke about how Angela doesn't want to be proven wrong, and now she's afraid of embarrassment. Because we know that Angela has one hell of an ego, and that ego is exactly what has kept her in this relationship despite all of the flaws that have happened in this relationship, both for herself and also Michael. You know, I'm going to tell you this right now, you know, in life, you should never allow your ego to cloud your judgment. You should never allow your ego to put you in positions that are going to be uncomfortable for you in the long run. Never, ever allow your ego to control you in a way that is going to be negative. Only allow your ego to be an impact if it's something that's going to benefit you in a positive way for the future of your life, not something that's going to affect you and, most importantly, also affect other people. Actually, no. Sometimes you can have ego in the right place and still affect others, which can be fine depending on how, if you dig what I'm saying. But obviously with Angela Dean now, she's the kind of person that will allow her ego to take charge, and then when shit goes downhill, she would then take no accountability. But let's continue.
Scared that everybody was right and comfortable. I think, you know, the true Michael is going to show to all of us, like she's been seeing.
Sadly, Skylar, you was wrong. The true Michael wasn't necessarily, well, no, the true Michael was going to be shown, but let's be real. The biggest concern wasn't necessarily the true Michael. The bigger concern was always going to be the true Angela. Obviously, the only thing that Michael was ever going to do to her Angela was pretty much leave her. Which therefore, in her eyes, would then be embarrassing her, because therefore it means she would have been proved wrong about the fact that he was not using her and about the fact that she was going to be able to control him once he got to America. But because he left, that definitely tickled her ego and definitely affected her ego. And that's why she ended up doing the madness on all those freaking live streams, if you dig what I'm saying. But either way, though, let's talk about the other side of things. How him finally coming to America would then be the defining moment of how Angela would then switch up on him. And we have seen that. Michael's given her reasons over the seasons to definitely give her a reason to be upset, to be mad, and to do certain things. But now he's in America. All of a sudden, you now want to really let loose. I'm so happy that he did run away, because let's not forget, there were times when, of course, she flew over to Nigeria and she would obviously vandalize his items and XYZ. I promise you now, if he had stayed with her in the United States, it wouldn't have been a matter of her vandalizing his car or anything like that. It would have been a matter of her potentially vandalizing his face, rearranging it with her freaking madness, okay? And it would have been a matter of her putting him on legit freaking house arrest. I'm talking about buying a tag and slapping on his freaking ankle and making sure she knows exactly where he's at every single time. She's probably upset that she didn't do that sooner. Either way, though, we really got a deep the change in Angela's attitude. Now Michael is in the States, and I get it. I know she's done things that have been vile already throughout the process, but now I believe that vileness that we saw her do before when she was in Nigeria seeing him was going to be at a whole different scale now he was in the United States of America. And I'm already identifying it with the very first scene that I showed you of her already throwing Nigerian women under the bus, and her already throwing food from Nigeria under the bus, and her trying to pretty much get him to eat what she wants to eat, not what he wants to eat, as if he hasn't got a choice of his own. Nonetheless, though, until next time, when it comes to Angela and Michael, let me know your thoughts, subscribe, like the video, and peace.